Clouds dispersing across the 4 states, sunny skies, 2 more days of dry weather, but we've got thunderstorms for the weekend. We'll have the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, a mass shooting in Tulsa leaves 5 people dead.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A stolen truck chase in Jasper County leads to a crash. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Bronte Sorotsky. Just after 8 p.m. Wednesday night, a Jasper County Sheriff's deputy attempted a traffic stop on a black pickup. The stop occurred on East 7th near Irwin, and the vehicle fled. The pickup crashed into a utility pole at 20th and Irwin about a mile later. The crash did not knock down any power lines. Authorities discovered the truck had been stolen and the driver was taken into custody. This is a developing story, so head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for updates. The nation has been rocked by another mass shooting, this time at a medical building in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police say a gunman carrying a rifle and a handgun killed 4 people and injured others. They say the man had purchased an AR-style rifle hours before fatally shooting 4 people. They say he targeted a surgeon he blamed for pain following back surgery. The 4 people who were killed were employees of the health system. The shooter also died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Parts of southeast Kansas saw some straight-line wind damage. This is video from Allen County. The winds knocked down several trees, tore the roof off of some structures, and damaged fences. The Cherokee County, Kansas Sheriff's Office has finished a county-wide registered offender compliance check. Authorities say there are more than 100 registered sex, drug, and violent offenders in the county. The check is to make sure they are following the conditions of their release. Officials say more than 95% of the offenders were in compliance. Those who were not were taken into custody or are now wanted. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation released autopsy results for an inmate who died while in custody at the Ottawa County Jail. Authorities say 38-year-old Michael Victor died in November of last year after around a month in the jail. The sheriff's office says Victor had a medical emergency. Jailers tried to render aid and took him to the hospital, where he later died. On Wednesday, the OSBI announced autopsy results showed he died as a result of fentanyl poisoning. And an online map and contact information will help Missouri families find free local summer food programs. Children under 18 will receive free meals at hundreds of locations in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services Summer Food Service Program provides breakfast, lunch, and/or snacks to children living in eligible areas when children do not have access to free or reduced price meals at school. To find the online interactive map of locations and more information on summer food sources in all 4 of our states, just click on the link at KOAMnewsnow.com. A Southwest Missouri-based food bank has reached a milestone in grants to its partners. On Wednesday, Ozarks Food Harvest announced it's awarded $1 million in grants this week alone to more than 70 of its area food bank partners. Officials say this push for grants was spurred by research from the University of Missouri Interdisciplinary Center for Food Security, which showed how much food banks rely on assistance from Ozarks Food Harvest. Pittsburgh State's Bicknell Family Center for the Arts has a new exhibit focusing on one of the most well-known concentration camps of World War II. The exhibit features 14 photos taken at Auschwitz titled Auschwitz KZ-1 and 2. They were taken by a professional photographer who also teaches at Missouri Southern. The exhibit is free and open to the public through June 30th. Now let's head over to Michael for a first look at our weather.
Okay, so this morning we had that beautiful sunrise and we kept on waiting for the clouds to break and everything. At the same point in time, trapped in our heat, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of blue sky out there, Bronte, but here's the great thing about it. Look at how it's dissipating off to the southeast. Same point in time. We also talked this morning about all that rainfall that was on the Red River up through central Oklahoma. Now look at it, squarely through central Little Rock. Of course, yes, we're thinking about the flooding concerns that they will have, but doesn't affect us. At the same point in time, let's get to our flooding, because pick you a river and chances are we will have a flood warning up until the weekend. On the positive side, dropped all our county-wide flood warnings. So slowly but surely, we are progressing toward the positive side. 71 right now in Joplin, 75 already in Chanute, 68 in Cassville, 70 in Miami. As we get through our Thursday, Clouds are going to break for everybody. Oh, let's go 75, 76 degrees. And then Friday, even warmer. However, coming up here in just a little bit, Bronte, let's talk about Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really looking forward to that.
Afternoon, evening hours, it's going to come back upon us. And then Sunday's the day I'm actually worried about because our temperature's up into the 80s with all that moisture. That's going to be a bad bit muggy.
Okay, well, we'll check in with that in just a little bit. Thanks, Michael. Well, that's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Celebrations are underway in Britain to mark Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. And later, we're making lemon yogurt chicken stack in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Welcome back to KOAM News at Noon. Here's a look at our tower camera, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction, as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. Check it out anytime on our website, koamnewsnow.com/power. COVID vaccines for more than 20 million of the youngest Americans may be one step closer to reality. Pfizer has submitted its application for emergency use authorization for its vaccine for children 6 months to 5 years old. Preliminary data shows it is more than 80% effective in preventing symptomatic infection with no serious side effects. Moderna has already submitted data for its vaccine, which was 51% effective in preventing illness in children between 6 months and 2 years of age, and 37% effective in 2 to 5-year-olds. Well, celebrations are underway in Britain to mark Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. The Platinum Jubilee kicked off this morning as CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
The Royal Air Force soared through the sky in a salute to Queen Elizabeth's 70-year reign. The Queen smiled from a balcony at Buckingham Palace as pomp and pageantry played out on the streets below. Her appearance came after the ceremonial Trooping the Colour, with soldiers performing another royal salute to the monarch.
It's a massive milestone. No British monarch in history has ever reached a Platinum Jubilee, and we are unlikely to ever see it again.
The 96-year-old Queen took the throne 70 years ago. Most Brits today have never known another monarch.
I just think it's an amazing thing that the Queen's been on the throne for 70 years. It's quite historic.
The Jubilee is a 4-day national celebration here, filled with concerts, street parties, and packed full of British pride.
I am a Queen fan. I think it just reminds me of good memories from childhood of doing all the Jubilee stuff at school.
The Queen isn't getting around as easily as she used to, so she won't attend every event. But she is setting time aside for family, like Prince Harry and Meghan, who flew in from California with their 2 children.
It's very likely that Harry and Meghan will visit the Queen on Saturday for Lilibet's first birthday. She's never met her before. I mean, that will be an extraordinary meeting. How sweet will that be?
Speaking of sweet, what's a party without a pudding, as Brits call it? The Jubilee's official dessert, a 7-layer lemon trifle in honor of the Queen's 7 decades of service. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
One of the biggest events in the 4 days of festivities will be a platinum party at the Palace, a concert featuring big names like Diana Ross, Elton John, and Alicia Keys. Well, still to come on KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Grab your sense of adventure as we highlight some of the best finds at the market this month. I'll give you a hint. They're in the dairy aisle.
But first, Michael Hayslip returns with your complete forecast.
Open up, and one of the things we talked about with May, it seemed a little bit cool. Obviously, it was wet. We're going to take a look at our rain totals here in just a second. But when you get down to the brass tacks of it, our May average high, not too far off, sits at 77 degrees. So really, we kind of just ran the gamut. We'd have those days and those afternoons where we only topped out in the 60s, and then we get up into the high 80s. That being said, if you go back and look at it, we only had 2 days through the entire month of May where we actually had 90 or above. And that's pretty amazing because we know that we've had some Mays in the past where we'll roll an entire week of 90-degree weather. And so the things that it factors out at 77, that's not too bad. 71 right now over 7th and Range Line, as we've now seen the blue sky finally begin to pick in. Big thing, that north wind coming in at 9 miles per hour. Not going to be a blustery day, but one thing that it will do is it will actually bring down our temperatures, and on top of that, it is going to force all that precipitation that bubbled up by the Red River and went through central Oklahoma, and it will keep it to the south of us. We will not have to worry about that today. And earlier today, Bronte and I, when we were doing the KOAM morning news, we saw places like Iola and Yates Center fall as low as 48 degrees. Now put that into perspective. The fact that we're sitting at 70 and 72 right now in Iola and Yates Center, and that's right on par with what we're seeing in Joplin, Neosho, Miami. So what a quick warm up once you have those skies begin to break, because where'd that cloud cover hang? Well, right through the central and southeastern portion of the 4 states, kept the rain down to the south, but everything up to the northwest cleared quickly, let the sun kick in. That being said, remember, we've got flood warnings. You pick your river in the 4 states, chances are that we have a flood warning associated with it. The only one we've been able to lift so far, the Verdigris River. That's the only one so far. So we're going to keep it for the Fall River up until Friday morning. We're going to keep it for the Neosho. If you want to drop down deep to the south of the Neosho, how about Sunday morning? That's when that's going to expire. Osage, Little Osage, up in the northern portion of Vernon County, not until Sunday as well. So please know those banks are flooded. I know you're going to be chomping at the bit because it's early in June. You want to get out, you want to get on the water. Let's just say it's not the safest thing to do right now, because when we look at our annual precipitation, that yearly value, that is 8 inches above normal. So I need everybody being safe and sound out there. It is not worth trying to take a chance. What this will do though, this system of thunderstorm activity is going to make its way straight to the Atlantic coast. That is mirrored by the severe thunderstorm risk map. You can actually get a good idea about where it's going to track, going to leave us out of the mix for both Thursday and Friday. Saturday, a little bit different, but also too, when it does appear on Saturday, we are not going to have to worry about wind. We are not going to have to worry about hail. What we will do, those same streams, rivers, and creeks that we know that are already flooded, those will be back on it. So everybody on your toes for Saturday night into Sunday morning. However, let's talk a little bit about Sunday. Oh, Bronte, we were talking about that humidity. I'm going to have to drop that outdoor activity forecast into the poor category.
Oh, no.
Well, and here's why. Because when we talk about Thursday and Friday, we're going to keep it in the good category. We've got a north breeze, we've got low humidity, we've got temperatures in the 70s. Saturday, we'll go fair. Sunday, we're going to go poor. And here's why. We're going to approach 90 degrees. Tim, you got it. We're going to approach 90 degrees. Factor in the humidity, the rain from Saturday night into Sunday, feeling about like 92, 93.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that. Thanks for making me not look forward to this weekend.
Okay, then all you have to say is, I'm going to enjoy a delightful Thursday and Friday.
There, exactly.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks, Michael. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Floyd Johnson in the U.S. Navy. The first-class Navy veteran served in Hawaii, Guam, and Japan from 1955 to 1961 and is a recipient of the Good Conduct Medal. His hometown, Pitcher, Oklahoma. To Floyd Johnson, we thank you, our four-state hero. This month, there's certainly lots to celebrate as we kick off National Dairy Month. And with promotions going on at the market, there's no better time to try Howard's Lemon Yogurt Chicken Stack in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Can you believe it's June? And that means many of us are heading out on vacation. Our gardens are in full bloom. And something that's really exciting, June is Dairy Month. Yup, an entire month to take advantage of all the special promotions and to discover all the new products that are hitting the dairy aisles. When Dairy Month first began, It was a way to salute all the dairy farmers who brought us all the fresh from the farm favorites. You know, milk so fresh, you can practically hear the cows mooing. And for those of us who prefer options, today we can find nut, oat, and soy-based alternatives right next to our traditional favorites. When it comes to butter, today there are lots of flavors and choices, including plant-based ones. When it comes to yogurt, whether it's traditional, Greek, low-fat, or coconut-based ones, the choices are endless. Plus, let's not forget our old standbys. You know, cream cheese, ricotta, cottage cheese, and sour cream. And next to them, all of the block, sliced, and shredded cheeses. And with so many varieties, there's something for every taste. While you're perusing the dairy case, make sure you check out all the juices, cold brewed coffees, and ready to bake or toast favorites that are being saluted this month. If you really want to impress your gang, you'll have to try our lemon yogurt chicken stack that starts out with lots of farm-to-table ingredients from the dairy case and is just a thing to serve all summer long. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where all this month we're out to discover many dairy-licious ways for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at some for-state market prices.
Sunny's a delightful afternoon and evening, and remember, that's going to carry over into Friday morning. Tell you what though, you work up to the north on Friday, you may want a jacket early tomorrow morning as we'll drop into the 40s, but after that, sunny skies on Friday as well. Here's the thing, get everything done today, tomorrow afternoon, and Saturday afternoon because, oh, here's a shocker.
Oh, I know.
Yep, we've got
rain.
We've got rain re-emerging Saturday night into Sunday morning.
So you're going to have to get my lawn mowed before the end of the day Friday slip.
I have given up on the lawnmower. I don't know the last time I touched it.
Oh, really? Wow. I envy you.
So, Dad, what do we have coming up today at 5?
A lot coming up at 5. For starters, the federal government continues to look for answers behind the formula shortage. Today, the Inspector General for Health and Human Services announces it's going to conduct an FDA investigation into the handling of the Abbott infant formula recall. Plus, with the recent school shooting in Texas, one local school district discusses the measures they have in place to keep our kids safe and find out why a highway dedication ended with broken bottles. Hope you join us for those stories, a lot more. Of course, it's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.